Hello everyone, my name is Rich Keener. I'm the Village Manager for the Village of Villa Park, and today's another one of my segments where I'll be talking about an upcoming board meeting. So today's segment I want to talk about Monday, August 26th board meeting. So we have a number of good items on our agenda, so let's start. So number one is the call to order, it's the roll call. Number two is the Pledge of Allegiance. Number three is public comments on agenda items. And folks, that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to come to the podium, be recognized by the village president, and make comments on actual formal items on the agenda for that evening. So moving on, number four is amendments to the agenda. And folks, that's the appropriate time for the president or board of trustees to modify the formal agenda for that evening. Moving on, number five is the consent agenda. We do have two items. We have 5A. We have bill listing for the weeks of August 12th and August 19th, 2019, in the total amount of $761,791.52. 5B is the minutes from the board meeting held on August 12th, 2019. We're moving on to number six for Monday, August 26th would be first reading of ordinances to be codified. So we have 6A, which is first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the Villa Park Municipal Code setting fees for liquor licenses. So folks, the background on this particular item is as follows. Application and renewal fees for liquor licenses have not been changed since 1992. For nearly all classes of licenses, Villa Park has the lowest fees of all of our surrounding communities. Staff recommends updating the original issuance fee and annual renewal fees for our liquor licenses, which will bring our liquor license fees to approximately the average of the immediate area. Going forward, liquor license fees will adjust annually with the CPI/U. So folks, we've taken an analysis, a survey of our liquor license fees, and we've surveyed the communities that touch our borders, and we found that our fees are much below our surrounding communities. And so what we've done is we're recommending to the board and village president to increase our liquor fees and the original issuance fee to the average of our survey. So we don't want to be the top, we don't want to be the bottom, we just want to be kind of in the middle of the average. And then going forward, those fees will be adjusted annually with the Consumer Price Index of Consumer Affairs or Urban Affairs. And so we don't have to bring this back every other year, etc. It'll be adjusted annually. So moving on to 6B for Monday night is the first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, increasing the number of Class D packaged liquor licenses for the packaged sale of alcoholic liquor. So folks, the background on this particular item is as follows. The business located at 609 West North Avenue is changing from U.S. Liquors to Crown Liquors. The new business owners of Crown Liquors have successfully completed the background check. This ordinance will replace a Class D full package grocery or drugstore license that will be eliminated upon the closing or sale of U.S. Liquors. There will continue to be 8 total Class D licenses and 64 total liquor licenses for Villa Park. So folks, U.S. Liquors is going to be sold to Crown Liquors, and so when that happens, U.S. Liquors Class D liquor license is eliminated because Crown Liquors needs to apply for their liquor license. So they've done that, they've passed their background check. So one Class D will be eliminated, then another Class D will come on. So we'll have 8 as before and 64 total as before. So moving on to 7, which is ordinances. For the first reading is 7A, the first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, accepting a plat of easement for stormwater management purposes at 1050 North Villa Avenue, also known as Mickey's Linens. So folks, the background on this particular topic is that certain stormwater improvements have been constructed as part of a development at 1050 Northville Avenue. The DuPage County countywide stormwater and floodplain ordinance requires all major and minor stormwater systems to be located within easements. The necessary legal documents have been prepared and signed by the owner. Acceptance of the easement by the village is required before it can be recorded. So folks, Mickey Linens has done some development at their site, and the stormwater improvements need to be located within an easement, and then the easement will be recorded at DuPage County on their warranty deed. So the stormwater improvements have to be in an easement, because if there's something that transpires or it's not being maintained, the village has the authority and capacity to go on the easement and make improvements to that stormwater area to make it function. So moving on to 7B for Monday night, August 26th, is an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, vacating a public alleyway and selling to adjacent property owners. So folks, the background on this item is that the village received a request from a property owner to acquire a portion of an unimproved dedicated right-of-way adjacent to the property owner's parcel. In response, staff researched property owner information and secured an appraisal for this right-of-way. 5 property owners of the 8 contacted expressed interest in purchasing a portion of the village's alleyway. This ordinance allows the village to both vacate the alleyway and sell the property to the interested adjacent property owners. If approved, a public utility easement is necessary, as utilities exist in the alleyway, right-of-way. So folks, this particular item, we've had a property owner approach the village and request to purchase a portion of an unimproved alleyway that the village owns that we aren't using, and quite frankly we don't need. And so to do that, we have to contact all the property owners who are adjacent to that alleyway. And so there are 8 property owners that are adjacent to the alleyway. 5 of them want to purchase portions of that alleyway and 3 do not. And so that's what this particular item is. So those 5 people will be able to purchase some portions of that alleyway to make their rear yards much larger and functional. So moving on to 7C for Monday night, August 26th, is an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending Appendix C of the Villa Park Municipal Code, providing for the regulation of signs. Folks, the background on this particular item is that the direction of the Village Board, the Zoning and Planning Commission held a public hearing on April 11, 2019 on a text amendment that would add electronic billboards as a special use in the zoning ordinance. This item was continued for additional information, and on June 13th, the Zoning and Planning Commission unanimously recommended against this text amendment. Should the Village Board wish to approve this text amendment, they should approve the attached ordinance. So folks, the Zoning and Planning Commission did not approve the text amendment language, which would have been added to the zoning ordinance, which would allow electronic billboards on Roosevelt Road and North Avenue as special uses. And so what's happening now, even though the Zoning and Planning Commission unanimously recommended not to approve this, it still goes to the Village Board, which the Village Board can approve it anyway, or it can approve the recommendation of the Zoning and Planning Commission. So it could be an interesting topic for Monday night. So if you have some time, take a moment and come in person and participate in the discussion, or maybe view it on one of our cable commission channels. So moving on to number 8 is resolutions for the evening. So we have 8A. It's a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving final change order number 1 to the contract between the Village of Villa Park and Superior Road Striping, Inc. for the 2018 pavement marking program. So folks, the background on this item is as follows. The village has a contract with Superior Road Striping, Inc. of Melrose Park, Illinois for the 2018 pavement marking program in the amount of $51,489 $1,000,000.10. Proposed final change order number 1 consists of the final balancing of contract quantities as measured in the field. The net amount of this proposed final change order number 1 is a deduction of $1,022.65 for an adjusted final contract amount of $50,466.45. So folks, we have finalized the 2018 pavement marking program, and we've measured all the quantities in the field, so there's a deduction to the original contract, which is always nice. So we'll take that deduction, those funds, and we'll put it into the 2019 street marking program to be used again. So moving forward, 8B for Monday night, August 26th, is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving an engineering services agreement with Trans Systems Corporation of Schaumburg, Illinois for Phase 3 construction engineering of the Astor, Myrtle, and Euclid project in an amount not to exceed $229,747. So folks, the background on this particular item is that Trans System Corporation submitted a proposal to the village to provide Phase 3 construction engineering services for street, utility, and drainage improvements for the Astor, Myrtle, and Euclid improvement project. This resolution approves a contract with Trans Systems Corporation for Phase 3 construction services in an amount not to exceed $229,747, which would be taken from the street improvement, stormwater, wastewater sewer separation, and wastewater capital funds. It is anticipated that the IEPA loan funding will also support this project. Staff recommends approval of the agreement. So folks, this is a much anticipated project, Astor and Myrtle and Euclid, and the Phase 3 is construction oversight. And staff is ready to move forward, but we're waiting for the IEPA funding. So we're going to hopefully have this approved Monday night, the agreement for Phase 3, and then move forward more than likely in the very early spring of 2020 when the EPA finishes their and approves the funding, the loan funding for this particular project. So moving on to 8C for Monday night is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a license agreement for a portion of an alley right-of-way between the Village of Villa Park and the owners of 205 West Madison Street, 213 West Madison Street, and 814 South Harvard Avenue. So folks, the background for this particular item is that the property owners of 205 West Madison Street, 213 West Madison Street, and 814 South Harvard Avenue wish to pave and maintain a shared driveway in the alley right-of-way located south of Madison Street and west of Harvard Avenue. A license agreement would be needed to grant the property owners permission for the proposed construction, maintenance, and continued use of the right-of-way. So folks, as I mentioned, we have 3 property owners that would like to use the village's right-of-way for a shared driveway, and a means to do that is a license agreement. And so when the property owners make improvements upon the right-of-way, the village has the authority to come in and make improvements which are possibly underneath the right-of-way. Could be utility improvements and things of that nature. That's why a license agreement is needed, which allows them to make the improvements, but they also have to maintain them. But if we have utilities in the area, then we also have the option to improve those utilities too. So moving on to 8D for Monday night, it's a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a license agreement for a portion of alley right-of-way between the Village of Villa Park and the owner of 15 West Adams Street. So folks, the background on this item is that the property owner of 15 West Adams Street wishes to repave and maintain a driveway in the right-of-way located south of Adams Street and adjacent to the property on the east. A license agreement would be needed to grant the property owner permission for the proposed construction, maintenance, and continued use of the right-of-way. So folks, again, it's another license agreement that would permit the property owner to use the village's right-of-way. And hopefully it's approved for the property owner to make his construction improvements, but again, they have to maintain those also. So moving on to 8E for Monday night is the resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a contract with A-Lamp Concrete Contractors, Inc. of Schaumburg, Illinois, for construction of the 631 East Wildwood Avenue and Rotary Park site improvements in an amount not to exceed $430,232.38. So folks, the background on this particular item is that in January 2019, the Village Board approved the purchase of the commercial property located at 631 East Wildwood Avenue. However, a portion of the property is currently located in the 100-year floodplain. The Village Board also approved the design of a project to remove the affected area from the floodplain by providing compensatory flood storage at a nearby Rotary Park. The design has been completed and the project has been competitively bid. A-Lamp Concrete Contractors, Inc. of Schaumburg, Illinois, submitted the lowest responsible bid for the project in the amount of $430,232.38. If approved, funds for this project would be taken from the St. Charles Road TIF account number 28-50201-401. So folks, the village purchased 631 East Wildwood back in January, and part of the parking lot of that facility is in the 100-year floodplain. And so what the village is going to do is we're going to make some storage, drainage basin storage improvements at Rotary Park, and then we're going to elevate the parking lot at 631 East Wildwood out of the floodplain. And so when it rains, the drainage basin or drainage improvements, if you will, located at Rotary Park will keep the water there, kind of retain it for a little bit and slow release so the water does not go into the parking lot or into the roadway. So this should help the East Wildwood Avenue area with the flooding that has been experienced in past years. So it's a great project that will help that area. So moving on to 8F for Monday night, it's a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, rejecting all bids for the 2019 Lions Park Basketball Court Reconstruction Project. So folks, the background on this item is that the village recently bid the 2019 Lions Park Basketball Court Reconstruction Project. Only one bid was received, and the bid was considerably higher than expected. A formal rejection of the bid received is recommended. So folks, we went out to bid to resurface the Lions Park basketball court. We received one bid, and that bid was over the engineer's estimate. And so what we're going to do is reject that particular bid and then go back through and see why the bid was over the engineer's estimate, or how we can achieve resurfacing the basketball court in a different manner. And so hopefully we can reconstruct that basketball court maybe later this fall or early spring 2020. So moving on to 8G for Monday night is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a contract with Michaels Corporation of Brownsville, Wisconsin for construction of the 2019 sewer rehabilitation program in an amount not to exceed $1,156,040.70. So folks, the background on this particular item is that the village expects to receive a low-interest loan funding from the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency for the 2019 sewer rehabilitation program. The scope of work includes sanitary sewer lining, manhole rehabilitation, sanitary sewer service reinstatement, and sanitary sewer point repairs. The project included both a bid base bid and 1 alternate, so that in the event bid prices were favorable, additional work could be completed under a single contract. The project was competitively bid with 4 bids received. Michaels Corporation of Brownsville, Wisconsin submitted the lowest responsible bid for the base bid in the amount of $1,156,040.70. If approved, the village would be responsible for paying for project costs and requesting loan reimbursement. The Illinois EPA will also need to review and approve the award of a contract after village board consideration. Funds would be taken from wastewater fund account number 83-502-02401. So folks, this is a rather large project, the 2019 sewer rehab project, and IEPA hopefully will be awarding a low interest loan, and usually those are about 2% over 18 or 20 years for repavement, and so we would do the construction and then seek loan reimbursement. Moving on to H8H for Monday night is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving final change order number 1 to the contract between the Village of Villa Park and A-Lamp Concrete Contractors, Inc. for the 2018 pavement patching program for a deduction in the amount of $4,586.65. So folks, the background on this item is that the village has a contract with A-Lamp Concrete Contractors of Schaumburg, Illinois for the 2018 pavement patching program in the amount of $198,800. Proposed final change order number 1 consists of the final balancing of contract quantities as measured in the field. The net amount of this proposed final change order number 1 is a deduction of $4,586.65 for an adjusted final contract amount of $194,213.35. So folks, we are finishing our 2018 program because we did the final measuring of the contract quantities in the field, and now we're doing a deduction because they didn't need all the quantities that they originally included in their bid. So now we're closing out this particular project and moving into the 2019 stage. And so moving on from Monday night, August 26th, to number 9 is public comments on non-agenda items. And folks, that's the appropriate time for anyone in the audience to come to the podium, be recognized by the village president, and make comments concerning items that are not on the formal agenda for Monday night. Number 10 is the village clerk's report. Number 11 is the village trustees report. Number 12 is the village president's report. Number 13 is the village manager's report. Number 14 is executive closed session. So we have 14A. Pursuant to the general provisions of the Open Meetings Act, we'll have A, 5 ILCS 120-2, C1, personnel matters. We'll have C2, collective bargaining matters. C5, purchase or lease of property. C6, sale or lease of property. C11, pending litigation. And then C21, discussion of closed session minutes. Folks, we won't have any action items after 14A, so we'll go on to 15, which is adjournment. And then after that, folks, our next meeting is September 9th, 2019. So we do have some interesting items for Monday night, August 26th. Remember, our board meetings start at 7 o'clock here at Village Hall. So I hope you have some time to tune in or come in person. Again, my name is Rich Keener. It's my honor to be the village manager for the Village of Villa Park. Hope to see you soon, and take care.